Of Overpass attacking into Team Falcons defense starting on the CT side. And pistol round is underway. Two sets of utility on Glaive and Goofy, smoke and flash. Everyone headed to the B bomb site, and that's a quick smoke. This is going to be fast-paced.
And not a single player buying anything other than Kevlar here for Falcons. They are confident in this pistol, and it's a good headshot. It's Kylar gone. That's the first opening here for Falcons. They have been dominant on pistol rounds all day long, and it doesn't look like that story is going to change. Every headshot, not a chance for ENCE.
Man, that looks entirely like Falcons knew what they were going to do the whole time. A double push in towards short, a boost up as well. That pistol round gets obliterated.
You really wanted to see a pistol round win for ENCE if they are to get that energy flowing through them coming into a mental reset, but to come back in and just get clotheslined yet again, it's going to be so tough to swallow, and there's no bomb plant. They didn't get close, so has to be the full eco or a weak force buy into the next round. 3
out of 3 pistol rounds won by Falcons as well. And as we saw in Mirage, I think ENCE got dug into a 0-6 hole early. They cannot let that happen again. This T side of Overpass can feel so restrictive and so difficult if you go down early. That first gun round better be strong, but ENCE is going to buy up here, much like we saw in Mirage as well. Tech 9s are out, Mac 10s are out, so ENCE not willing to give up this second round without a fight.
And the commitment now started that B-bomb site, utility flying on in. It's going to be a quick call for ENCE, and it's worked out early. Boros is removed. Snappy's turned to step up with the SMG, and he's so often so good with that weapon, and he gets 2 out of it. Again, though, it's Madden looking to unravel it again. He is their absolute nightmare. Today, Madden is not missing, and he's climbing over the top of Goofy. One quick kill as that Mac 10 rattles into the belly, and he'll move closer. He knows he's got time as well, plenty of time, in fact, here for Goofy, and Magic brings him down.
Goofy's trying to get close up for the Tech 9 to be effective against that SMG, and Magic just isn't going to give him the space to work with. Constant peaks, constant trades, and once again, it's Madden. He was so good on map 1, Madden. Hit so much impact and got Falcons started on the right foot in the first 4 or 5 rounds of the game, and he continues it here. Good defensive stand as it's crumbling around him, and ENCE can't make the force by work. They're going for it again as well. They've just bought up 3 rounds to start this out, forced all the way into it. Mac 10, couple of Galils.
They're just trying to get into this series at all, trying to get some kills going.
You're laying your economy on the line with a buy like this. Let's hope it pans out for ENCE. This is a game plan they come in with.
Yeah, it's a real tough decision to make, but it pays off for ENCE. It could open up this half for them early doors. Hades going around that corner, missed shot. Not going to connect onto Magic, who drops back into position at A.
Scout's been spotted on the map, though, so Magic is going to call that out. This is a buy round. And now they're going to set up defense. They're going to bring a 3rd player over. Smoke is going to delay things as well. No pressure at the B bomb site. Full control of short, and that's a nice double swing. Entry for Glaive, but they need more.
Yeah, they need a lot more where that came from. And oh, it's awkward for Glaive, but at least they've done some damage to Madden on the defense. Supply is placed behind the truck, but here's Snappy yet again in behind him, and Goofy topples on the flank. 50 seconds left. There's still time to stay composed, but the problem is Falcons' CT side has sandwiched these ENCE players into this position, and Sampayas gets hungry for information. He moves around that corner, and now Boros is the 2nd player up through Khan, and Diha is looking forward. Big dig from Diha, and that gives ENCE the player up in this round, and a few steps away from confirming it in the final 30 seconds. Hades goes around this corner. Oh, he needed that one instant, but it doesn't happen. Madden's dropped to 1 health. Will that come back to bite them? It won't. ENCE's first buy pays off, and they look to try and get into this first half.
Now you get a bit of the reward side of things. ENCE getting started way earlier than Mirage, and it's Team Falcons whose economy is in a rough situation. They'll force buy as well, jockeying these 2 teams for economic control.
And now they've given them something to support, but it's only 1. It's only the start. There's got to be plenty more of this on the T side.
And it's very hard fought. This is a difficult round to win. It could have gone the other direction 3 or 4 different ways, and that's the question for a team like ENCE. Do they have the protocols? Do they have the experience together to be able to get out of those tough situations when Falcons executes these flanks up connector?
Well, has broken Falcons down to a force buy of their own. ENCE have to withstand this to tie up this game, and once you do that, you force Falcons down to an eco. You feel like you've got that start that you want. Steps on the stairs being heard.
But
This be called over.
This is all good for ENCE. I mean, they're getting a lot of space for free just because there's not the weaponry, not the utility to fight for it. If you're Falcons, you have to play deep into the bomb site. So ENCE is going to be happy. They're not happy about the missed smoke, but they're going to be happy to progress and take control of bathrooms and start investigating and probing this A bomb site.
Yeah, the investigation is essential, but I don't know if they're going to be happy if they commit, because 4 players over here for Falcons on that defense, and Madden's getting a little antsy. He wants to move forward.
It's because they have so many bodies there. He doesn't shy away from being aggressive and get the information. Now it's going to have to pull some back. They did shift and rotate to the B bomb site, so Falcons starting to get pulled in multiple directions, but at the moment, standing pat, defending the B site with 4 players.
That's just getting boosted up, though. This could be devastating for D-Hut. Oh, the missed shot. D-Hut turns back, but neither of the players able to land on shot. It's going to be 28 seconds left. It's ENCE making their way back in for this final play towards the top bomb site.
Time's an issue.
And Snappy once again tries to get that flank going. Here's Magis. Deagle out from the stairway. His teammates with him, but not enough done. And Magis cannot connect. So it's all about the flank from Snappy, and now Hades knows. He's got that one pinned. Boris and Sampaius left in a 2v4, and it is obliterated. Sampaius has to run away, and this force bite does not work out for Falcons. ENCE have tied up the game.
Time started to be an ally of Falcons. They just couldn't get the kills to slow that hit down properly. A little bit of a team kill right at the end of the day. Glaive saying, you better do what I ask next time.
Yeah, it's a little slap on the wrist.
2-2. And this scout...
It's not worth an AK.
I don't even know if it's going to stay here, though. Hades hunting it down. Low HP could kill. Takes everything from Falcons. And ENCE finally in the series have a chance to build momentum.
And the money, like we said, is gone for Falcons. So where do ENCE start to go with this one? This could be an incredible comeback if they can get a strong T side. I mean, Josh Steele was saying on the desk before the game started, you know, he highlighted the issues of the CT side. That came to pass on Mirage. They get a T-side start this time. This is where Glaive can control it. This is where he can call some of these more inexperienced players into solid positions and get them comfy.
More importantly, with one map of play under your belt, this is where those young players just get to understand exactly what kind of an environment they're playing with. We'll see throughout this map of Overpass if they look more comfortable than they did on Mirage.
Kuben was saying too, Shocks just there during the break between maps, that Falcons seem to be playing with the sound a lot better than ENCE do at the moment. And
they know all the tricks.
Yeah, it's been put down to experience. D-Hut creeping out through Monster. They soon realize there is not much presence inside of this B bomb site. Hades is going to have a couple of pesky pistols running him down with the AK holds. And Boros is there around the corner. Hades has no problem in dealing with those default guns. D-Hut's push forward, looking to take down his former in-game leader. Not a fair fight. D-Hut will absolutely not care about that. 3-2. ENCE are in the lead.
And like you said, a chance for Glaive to start having some impact with his calling. There's some runway here for ENCE. They've got money built up, a couple of rounds that Glaive can play with before they'd have to save. And the crowd loving it. A narrow lead, 3-2.
Double Mac 10 for D-Hut and Kylar. See if that creates a fast play for D-Hut. He attempts it through Monster. He's taking damage. He's been bombarded, and he's been removed. So that initial risk to try and get through Monster does not work out for ENCE.
I think Snappy had to have known that was coming. He knows there's a couple of Mac 10s on the map that weren't taken away in the previous round, and he's watching for plays like that, spamming for plays like that, and puts it down before it can begin.
And he's a master of plays like that, too. He's exactly in his wheelhouse. And ENCE are looking to transition their focus instead towards the bathrooms. Utility drops in behind Sampaius. That smoke will be so large that he feels uncomfortable maintaining the same position. And Magisk is forced into a fight alone, and he will lose it against Goofy. But Sampaius has been so good around these smokes, but not this time. Not against Goofy.
That smoke was almost inviting that play from Sampaius, and ENCE was ready for it. And now the long peak, well constructed, well put together, and ENCE controls the map.
And here's a play forward into Glaive, and he waited. He waited around that corner, and Snappy offers up a free kill. It's a fantastic run from ENCE. It's the best Counter-Strike we've seen from them yet. And if they can start to win rounds, if they can start to build momentum in this T half, they'll start to feel the advantage of the crowd. Falcons did a fantastic job at neutralizing that threat in the first map.
Can't keep it down forever. Hades 8-2 to start this map. Kyler 6-3 leading the way for ENCE. They're gonna set up for another anti-force buy. They know they're up against pistols.
Molotov towards Magis. Key drops back away.
Yeah, they'll have heard that burn.
And Boros moves through short. Some control, some risks being taken here for Falcons. But look at this peek from Kyler. That's a confident maneuver.
Doesn't matter who's in an ENCE jersey, those MAC-10's gonna be impactful. Diha investigating. Goofy ready to join with him and pressure short. There is a push here. But ENCE know there's no reason to take that and step into that danger just yet.
Sampaio bides his time at Divider, but his time looked like it was about to be cut short. But Kylo didn't extend around the corner, and Sampaio is allowed to retreat. He'll get down no stairway.
There's a player in bathrooms. Yeah, we switch over to Matt, and he's still chilling there. So if anyone tries to join up with Kyler, they could be in for a world of hurt. They might expect this as clear based off his progress. And he's starting to investigate the A bomb site. So this could be, if he's not going to try and force his way through CT spawn to the B bomb site to backstab, there's some danger in this round for ENCE.
Yeah, there's a trap laid. Let's see if they'll come into play. Goofy knows that Snappy's in that corner, and he's waiting for it, but Snappy doesn't care. He peeks up, rips the head off Goofy, and now the in-game leader's coming back in with his dig. In from short, you look to boost his teammate up for a better position to look down inside of the site, and you said there's danger in this round, and Madden is making the most of it. Frustrating here for ENCE. Goofy thought he had the kill, but Glaive, he needs to line them up, and it's a double before death. And Madden's changed his position up. Heaven Wrap from Sampaio is detected, and we know how good Madden was on map 1. But this round, it's not looking doable. He does not have the kit, the utility, or the health. And Madden will retreat away. He will disengage as ENCE push forward to 5.
It's a nice round from Falcons, though. Making that difficult, 3 kills, chipping away just a little bit at the economy. That trap almost pans out. It looked like ENCE, there's a world in which they wander into it.
It's not a round that fills you full of confidence, that's for sure. Could have been a different story if the kill on Snappy comes in on the first attempt. There's that MAC-10 flying around that corner. But this is where the game now gets difficult again for ENCE. They're going up against that Falcons economy. It's finally back. They've got enough money to get the AWP out with Sampaio. They've got the weapons out in play alongside the utility. And ENCE are going to have to play again with them. Well, they don't have to, but they're deciding to play with a MAC-10 again.
You will see what Kyler does with that. Can be very aggressive and very fast. Timeout taken from Team Falcons. Zonic wants a word, which allows Cuban to get involved in the conversation. And as it comes to a close, we'll see what ENCE can bring out. With their first gun round was masterful. It was beautiful. It absolutely demolished the defense. How many more of those does Glaive have prepared?
And ENCE, they break them again here. They win this round. They can start to enjoy this moment. Smoke goes deep into middle. Hades sets his spot up in connector. We're not seeing yet where that MAC-10 wants to go. It's into the con, but not starting any fights just yet.
Oh, cheeky damage done to Diha. Kyler with that MAC-10 is brought very low, so they wanted to use it aggressively to take control of con. And with only 12 HP, he's kind of put out of the fight.
Yeah, they were hoping that he would win a fight. He would get something out of this MAC-10 and drop the player count to at least a 4v4, but...
Well, now instead of the aggressor, he kind of turns into the lurker with 12 HP, right? Like, I don't think he's going to be part of any real map control attempt. But as ENCE moves around the map, they'll keep him in positions to make sure nobody can backstab them. He can hide in a corner, wait for somebody to walk by, hope it's not cleared.
There's utility coming out to both bomb sites simultaneously. So ENCE, it's a lurk smoke outside of B, but they see that no one's moving through with that, and Falcons throw one of their own down into the monster tunnel. So this round is stalled out, and ENCE have used 2 pieces of utility that really get them nowhere. And 45 seconds left.
That lurk smoke, though, the last time they threw it towards the A bomb site, they ended up there. So it's brought a 3rd defender over, which has weakened this bomb site as well.
It's a great setup. And now they've just got to hit their shots, and Kylar rounds the corner. Lots of damage done. Boris to step up. He had to get something for his team, and he makes this round doable for Falcons. 3v3, and the retake, it's a question of whether or not they want to go for it. They don't have the most amount of utility in the world. They don't have a kit on any of these surviving players. But if they're quick about this, if they use their haste, they might be able to get back in time. And ENCE looking to try and force a post plant. And with that headshot and the follow-up kill from Hades, it's absolutely going to push ENCE forward to 6 rounds on the T side.
I'll take back everything I said about oh boy, a goose through the corner of the wall. Goofy's out for blood, and he's got some pious. That's everything again taken from Falcons. Man, that 12 HP does so much work, and it's the utility that sets it up. Gives the MAC-10 just 2 seconds. You're not going to get a kill. It's so desperate at that range with the MAC-10, but look at the distraction it's caused. Both eyes turn towards short. Both eyes turn towards the MAC-10, and allows for some brilliant trading into the bomb site for ENCE. This is payback. This is ruthless.
And for the first time, Glaive can get loud. They can actually feel the energy within the team and loosen up. Get confident on this stage, and Diha destroys some pious. And Diha keeps moving in. Second kill. ENCE have dismantled this round from Falcons. There's nothing to talk about for the CT side. This is more like it. This is the Polish power people were waiting for.
They're starting to get a little bit of swagger in their game at the moment. And that confidence, you can see it, how assertively and aggressively they're taking fights here on Overpass early on versus Mirage, where it was timid, where it was cautious.
10-2 for Hades coming into this. Questions about how he would perform on the stage. The first map was not pretty for anybody, but this first half of Overpass has been a completely different story. And Boris sees the feet of Diha, because he took earlier damage, that's all the shots needed.
And I think Glaive's has a chance for a nice read here.
Yeah, they've taken their time here, ENCE, but it still could fall apart.
Well, I believe in Glaive's mind, he's going to be thinking, oh
my
no,
God, he's not completely fall apart. It was looking so good for ENCE, but that kill had to happen. It had to come in. And now it's Boris with his chance to prove he's a stage player. It's his chance to show he can step up in the moments that matter most. And he's inside of water. He'll drop down inside of the site. And with the FAMAS, it's not the best gun for it, but Boris lines them up, and it could be a disaster. It could be a nightmare, and it looks like it might be, but Boris still thinks about Monster, and he's looking the wrong way.
Shout out to Goofy, 2 HP. And the movement, the mobility, the reposition. Boris did so much damage. He expected Goofy to be scared. But it's Goofy who slides up, punishes him from an angle he's not expecting, and forces a second timeout out of Falcons. A 5-round lead for ENCE. This Overpass pick is looking brilliant from Glaive and ENCE.
And the frustration of Sampaius gives the crowd something to celebrate.
You don't see Sampaius get frustrated like that. He's a calm individual. Something must be going real wrong.
Well, he's 2-7, Jason, so that might be it. Round 10 kicks off, and 7-2 up. AWP for Sampaius is still present, and matches Key's present now towards the fountain. He's headed his way through to the playground.
This is a new look, this aggression.
Yes, it is, and it's not worked out. Magus is down, and what a start from ENCE again. They've got a 5v4 established early doors. But this could be a boost that could gather some information, but it's quite noisy, and Diha detects that and doesn't leave himself in a position where he can be spotted, and he dodges the brunt of the damage from the utility.
This round slows down on the 5v4. There's no more smokes left, no more real utility for Falcons whatsoever, which makes it really difficult to manage when you're already a man down. Once these smokes clear, Falcons are going to have to do something on the map.
You're starting to see ENCE play with some fluidity. They're moving across the map confidently, but here's Falcons making an information move at the 50-second mark of the round. That monster smoke will start to fade away. It's all about this fight now. And Sampaius may have been frustrated last round, but he's going to be even more after to that kill. Goofy rounds the corner. D-Hut does not stop that play, but he gathers information, and that's everything for ENCE at this point. And Bank, oh, it's a play forward for Madden, looking to deposit a couple of headshots. He flicks back, and Madden, he's done it again. It's absolutely so impressive that Madden's got to this level.
Yeah, that one's crushing. I'm not sure how they didn't hear him burning in the Molotov as he steps through. Hectic situation, a lot of communication.
Oh my God, he just gets in front of that smoke. He gets in front of it. And this is ENCE coming so close, and what a great start to the round, but it all comes down to just not watching that Molotov towards the bank, and Madden unravels everything.
Sunpius as well with the op gets that initial kill. It's absolutely wonderful. And a great recovery from Falcons, who had a lot of issues. Man down, no utility. And they come out on top. But here's the question. Is that enough to stop the momentum? Has ENCE built up enough on this run, on this streak that they've had, to let that one just slide off their shoulders?
Like water off a bobber's back as we get into round 11. Still a purchase for both teams, and yeah, this is the real mental test for ENCE. Do they have it in them to let this one slide and come right back in? Kylar pushes up to the fountain. He's got eyes on bathrooms, but no one from Falcons is aggressive on A, because look at their initial setup. They've got so many players starting towards B, anticipating a quicker maneuver from ENCE, but that's not what Glaive is called.
Gonna take short control, Glaive leading the way. Calling from the front. There's no resistance here, and 3 more ENCE players joining up with him. Goofy, who's been fantastic, is left to his own devices on the other side of the map. He's got Magis to contend with out towards Longs, and Pius is up in bathrooms.
Glaive walking in, but Boros from the sandbags. It's a good first kill. He repositions and swings though, and that's often a criticism you can have of him. And he's got to hope his teammates can make up for that mess, and it's not going to happen for Snappy. A 2v2 now set up off the back of those. And is it a 2v2 that Falcons want to compete for?
Remember, the ults are in play, and especially on Sunpius. If Magis goes down, Sunpius ain't going to want to risk the AWP.
Miss nade. Oh, the experience that comes in, and now Hades is watching for it. Magis going around the corner. It's a sick shot from Hades. And obviously absolutely no chance now for Sunpius, so he gets into the smoke after losing his teammate. He'll disengage, he'll fall back, and ENCE are given 8. So the question was, will they be able to bounce back after a frustrating round loss? Well, we've got our answer, and it's yes.
That's some beautiful trading for ENCE coming into that. That was a heavy resistance at this bomb site. Boros even getting the first kill, but hunting down the kill on Snappy towards Monster was absolutely brilliant and necessary to bring it into a 2-on-2 as quick as possible. And if you're ENCE, you're loving what Hades is providing you with the AWP right now. Good in clutches, he's had some openings, been good in the mid-round as well. Your best performing player in the group stage has showed up here in the playoffs. And now they're having a little bit of fun too. Now they get to enjoy it.
Yeah, that first map was not enjoyable for the ENCE side of things. Doesn't get much easier though. Sunpius looking for the opening fight in mid. He gets blinded and forced away. The shot rings out, and that's information gathered for ENCE. And here's the first fight of the round. It's in short order, and it's D-Hut.
That's a quick transfer down after getting dinked, and with the mid push, with the short kill at B bomb site. Oh, look how they're hustling up long.
Oh my God!
And Madden, this is a great call. Madden's been playing banana this entire time with the AWP. He's not going to expect them to be this close.
And Sunpius doesn't have the weapon for a multi-kill. Surely not. He doesn't have a single kill. Goofy hits that headshot without a problem, and now with a 5v3, Hades' shot sends them to hell. There's absolutely no way that Magis and Boros can even think about a round like this.
Man, we didn't get to see it at all on Mirage, but now you can see the way this ENCE team is geared when they're getting opening kills, how they like to punish the defenses. Oh. Awkward exchange, but all still good. In control of ENCE. That bomb's gonna hustle up long.
It's important that they got that information early too. It's sad that Hades dies in that situation for ENCE, but at least they pick up the information that Boros was trying to flank, and he's still trying to flank. He might be able to catch him behind him, and Boros blisters his way forward. D-Hut's taken out. Now he considers the bathroom, and this is a huge play from Boros. 3 kills already, but there's 2 more to still find. And we said it was in control of ENCE, but now that could go away. Good information gathered for Glaive, and the experience allows him to fall back and stay composed as boss. The Butcher has arrived to this round, but it's Glaive Verdane who brings him down. And 9-3 for ENCE. They believe in this comeback.
Fighting back in this quarterfinal series. They respond from a demoralizing loss on Mirage with a brilliant half on Overpass, up 9-3. They've had Falcons' number from the get-go. Now they just have to close it out. They switch over to the defensive sides, which have been an issue, but we'll see if Overpass is a map where they resolve them.
Certainly an issue on Mirage. Let's see if Overpass is a different story. They've got rounds to work with. They've got some space to play with. And ENCE are looking to force map 3 of this series. Hades searches for the opening fight in the pistol, decides to drop back, given the information that he gathered.
Falcons moving through Khan right at the door.
And it looks like that fight might come soon. But it looks actually, in fact, that Falcons want to creep a little closer up the connector, and as long as they don't make any steps, they can do this silently. They can gain ground here on the divider player. But information now picked up. There's a player inside of top Khan.
They're coming right back, though. You have to imagine you get control of Khan. You want to get control of short as well. Here comes the flashbang to set it up. It's going to be Goofy with the dualies.
Fully white, it has to rely on Kylar to step up for him. And Goofy is is unblinded just in time. He comes back slinging his guns. But Sampayas with a miraculous triple out of nowhere on that P250. And that has given Falcons every single foothold in this pistol round. Wave bites back. His former teammate down on the ground. Great recognizes great. And this pistol is on. It would be the first pistol that ENCE were able to pick up in this quarterfinal. Falcons have dominated them every single time.
There's a smoke, but there's no kit. But that smoke can apply some pressure. Sampayas, sees someone looking the wrong way. Just gets a little bit of damage.
Yeah, he's a god on these pistols, but not this time. It doesn't secure the double to close it for the ace immediately, so it does rely instead on Madden, who is just having a fantastic performance in this quarterfinal. So it's on Hades in the clutch alone, trying to force double figures. They think he's on that defuse, but unfortunately for ENCE, he's not. So not enough time to win this. He'll retreat, he'll run away. And Pence, oh my goodness, nice shot, but ENCE unfortunately have not won a pistol today.
Continues to be a little bit of a smudge on their gameplay. You're right, all 4 pistols won by Falcons. How does Sampayas get all 3 of these? There's the first. Oh man, he's just destroying all the backup. Easiest triple of his life.
I couldn't believe he gets a 3K there, because it did look like ENCE had done enough on the defense that they were going to get away with that connector play forward. But when you have a player like Sampayas, if he's given enough space, enough time, he can pull off some miraculous plays.
It almost felt like they were too eager to get involved in the action.
Yeah.
Forced by here for ENCE in this second round. Scout in the hands of Hades.
It's what got that first half going. They're going to try it again here in the second half. And with this kind of form that Hades is having at the moment, 15-5, you can't put it against him.
And you've got 2 scouts on the board as well to soften up the opposition, and then you can really see those MP9s clean things up. The 5-7 on Diha, clean up some of these tags. But first they got to get them. 1 scout positioned out towards long. 1 scout here in the hands of Hades, peering down Banana, looking to tag up Snappy, sees the shadow.
Yeah, Snappy down to 10 health off the back of that, so there's one of those players you mentioned being softened up. And Diha is just giving them the shoulder. The cold shoulder is Madden. Swiftly responds to the smoke. It's a spam kill that brings multiple players, unfortunately, now down for ENCE. They've got to play in a 3v5, despite doing damage to multiple Falcons players here.
Yeah, that's a huge hiccup from Diha. Swinging after that smoke goes down, you have to know that spam is going to come in, and man, that really slows things down. Oh, MP9 jumping around the corner. Glaive out of ammunition, switches to the pistol, and Sampayas, Hades has arrived at the perfect moment.
3v3, and now they're coming back up into Kylo, and with just pistols put together with MP9s, it looks like it might just be a magic moment for ENCE. 23 seconds left. If they come back into Hades, he can start to spam, but he goes for the pre-fire. And that might cost him. If he just sat and hold the angle, perhaps it would be done already, but that has given them a chance back into it. And when you give great players a moment like that, they snatch it, they run with it, and now it's a clutch for Kylar alone up against Madden. And even though they come so close, it isn't that miracle round.
That's rough. What a swing for ENCE. They almost got that under control.
You could look at Kuhn and realize he couldn't believe what was happening, but the pre-fire from Hades, if he just stands still.
Glaive has mentioned he's sometimes, coming out of that group stage, he's just said, I'm confused at how we're beating all these good teams. And I think that's another one of those rounds that it's just confusing, but you're going to roll with it. And unfortunately, it just gets away.
And I don't think those are the rounds that ENCE can now unfortunately lose, right? They're in a position, if you drop the ball there, that's your golden ticket. We're looking at 9-6, almost surely here.
That's the swing of the round. They almost had no business being in it, down 3v5 at one point on a force buy, but somehow willed themselves back and let it slip. But you're right, ENCE in this position cannot let those advantages drop away from them. Falcons should have an easy route to 6.
So far, it's living up to that.
And Snappy's already cleared the A bomb site. He can backstab, he can call the team back, or the overpass, a huge map. No reason to wheel his team through all the different myriads of danger on a path back to the bomb site. So Snappy instead just going to be able to backstab as him and Hades pass in the night.
Oh yeah, Snappy's got this for sure. He loves a MAC-10 kill, and none come easier than this. 2 players looking the wrong way. Snappy composes himself, he gets out of dodge, so even that flank from Hades around the back is not going to cost him his life. Plant locked in, Falcons keep 5 players up. And that's going to help recover and grow this economy from previous damage sustained in the last round. And now that huge lead that ENCE were able to rack up from their T side, it's crumbling. And you mentioned it just before we started this second half. The CT side is where there have been issues for ENCE.
Well, they overcame some early hurdles in the first half. A chance to do it here. The AWP is in the hands of Hades, 16-7. A phenomenal game from the ENCE AWPer. Must continue. Overpass, a map where the AWP can be so impactful. Almost overextended, but backs away. It's Kyler.
Yeah, Kyler holding, but here comes the MAC-10s. And here comes the cavalry running right over his body. Hades trying to get back. Oh, he's just been spotted the knee. Oh, nice shot from Hades. He was under a lot of pressure. He had disadvantage on that roll, but he goes back out again. And Glaive now pushing forward into Madden, but he can wait now. He can hold angles on this update. And it's going to be a headshot. Glaive removed, and Falcons once again up a player.
Smart move from Madden to be so aggressive, taking control of long. They know they have Hades kind of stuck. Snappy looking for it. 3 HP. Hades cannot make a single mistake. And with this far forward with the AWP, he has a chance to start bringing this round back in control, but boy, is it going to be tough.
They're coming back up into the bathrooms, and Hades, he's committed with this AWP. There's no fallback plan. There's no turning back. And the bomb has decided to turn back through connector and down to that B bomb site. And because the angle of Hades is not deep, he's not gathering that information, ENCE won't have the early warning system. Instead, it is Diha down on B, spotting out this attack, swinging into the open and going down without a single kill. ENCE have no other option. It has to be the save call.
Again, Madden just having so much impact. Just the one kill he gets in this round on Glaive puts so much pressure on the defense. Beautiful shot to keep the AWP in hand, but it's not going to matter at the end of the day. 4 straight to start this second half for Falcons, and they're coming storming right back into the Overpass.
Yeah, Boros just keeps going for this. He knows that if you take away this AWP, if you take away this rifle, it's going to push ENCE's economy into the doldrums, and they're going to have to back away here, ENCE. They seem like they've got to some sort of safety, at least on Hades, but I'm worried a little bit about Goofy at the moment, but Boris does not continue that push.
Look at Cuban. I'd be surprised if we don't get a timeout after this round. He's lounging a little bit. He's taking a moment to look and rifle through what minimal playbook that ENCE has built up at this moment. Thinks he can talk to them and get them on the same page.
When you're on the CT side and you're having to combat the minds of Snappy and Zonic together on this T side, it can be a really difficult challenge. Some would say even impossible, especially with the limited time that ENCE have had to get themselves together.
If ENCE lose this round, this game is essentially tied up. This game is right there. It'll be a labored by in the next one after that, depending on what's saved, but then Falcons are kind of right in it. They're within striking distance now. And that pressure just grows and builds. It's a 4-1 start. Oh, and the boost up's been spotted. Glaive wants nothing to do with it.
So they have to cancel out that idea. Falcons pick up information of the whereabouts of 2 players off of that. Obviously that can reset at this point. And Boris is hoping through that smoke he can catch a player. He did earlier when Diha overextended. Falcons reposition.
Yeah, they're going to take a little bit of long control now. They haven't really been contested too many times in this part of the map, so Madden is leading the way, going to wheel his way in towards bathroom, so starting to get basic control towards that A bomb site to start challenging into it. The AWP is here in the hands of Hades. It's further back. It's at the A bomb site. Him and Kyler have no nades. They have nothing to disrupt any attack into their positions except for their weapons.
Hades scoped up. Oh, he hits the shot, but it's not death. And Hades is the master of that. He'll run back around to bank.
But with the AWP, he's going to be blocked off by utility. He's got no more say in this round because he's got no backup, no teammates with him whatsoever. This, I hate to say it, this might have to be a save call again. If this flank nets them nothing, it's time to bail out.
And that flank hasn't come into position just right yet. It hasn't come into play. And it is the save call. is a super tough pill to swallow, but they just didn't have the resources to go for that retake. And from 9-3 to 9-8, this is starting to become a nightmare for ENCE.
You hate doing it, but you can understand why. Next round would have been a really, really tough buy for ENCE, but they get to preserve the weapons. This will help their economy in the long game, maximize the number of rounds they can fight back with full power. It's just the question becomes how long can they keep losing before they just break? Still at this moment, nursing the lead, you still believe, but if Falcons overtake them, it's a completely different game.
We've had Kubin go back and rifle through the notes. Did not work this time, and he needed the kill, and it's just a slim margin. A slab of concrete.
And once Kyler's gone, he's the one that's meant to keep space for the AWP. He's the one to protect and make sure they cannot move closer to the AWP. Once Kyler goes down, Hades has no option but to back behind the smokes.
And this looks like a much more technical talk from Kubin rather than trying to fire them up. Sitting back and passing information forward. If this comes into crunch time, ENCE will have the advantage of all these wonderful people standing behind them. But this has to be their chance now. They save for this moment, they save to get a goodbye again for the next. But if they tie it up, if it's 9-9, this map completely changes. And Hades has pushed forward at long. Clave has got himself into connector.
We saw Falcons do this as well in the first half. The switch up in the defenses. Stop letting them have this basic control out towards Fountain and Playground. Start challenging for it. Make them work for every inch that they want to take on the map.
It's an MP9 to defend this B site. An MP9 is the first weapon that will be tasked with dealing out damage.
Well, the nice thing is you have two players behind you, two M4s behind you.
And now the setup is better. They've had time with that follow-up smoke to change it up slightly and make this hold look a bit more convincing for ENCE.
Goofy's going to get blind, so D has to play anti-flash, and he'll have to turn very, very quick. A follow-up smoke. That's not going to delay things.
They've got to go through it. And here Falcons come, and they do not get through. They do not break through Goofy. And they've got to reset. Falcons have to come in from a different avenue. And they found short. They might find this as sanctuary for the moment, but they've got to now deal with that adjustment in the defense yet again for ENCE. It lands at the feet of Madden. He'll hold position behind the sandbags, waiting on his in-game leader, Snappy, to come and join him. It will be the last-ditch effort. It's the only option they've got to hit this B-bomb site. ENCE are defending it with everything they've got, though, and Snappy is toppled. It's double figures for ENCE.
They needed it. Their first win of the second half puts them at double digits, and it's a great hold.
And you look at the money for Falcons, though, it doesn't get any easier for ENCE. They're still going to have to deal with that constant buy. But Goofy is still blinded, realizes once that smoke comes down, once he hears those flashes, they've got to commit through it. So he holds down mouse one, and he gets away with two.
I don't even think they ever saw Diha.
They didn't need to.
Oh, deep utility again. ENCE one more time, want to challenge a little bit. Not going to stick around, but Hades is pushing. He's out in the open as well.
And Madden's trying to get up into Woods Playground. He nearly had an opportunity to bring down a player from ENCE, but it's not to be the case.
Yeah, you could just see Hades quickly backing away. That flashbang, he expects to be a peak following it up.
Doesn't want to be left hung out to dry in his zone at long. It was a different story when his teammates pulling distraction in middle, but once that issue falls away for Falcons, you got to get him out of there. Falcons once again shifting into a B play.
But this time with the more aggressive defense at A, though, they can actually track the pacing of when Falcons is taking control, when they have a timing to attack into the A bomb site. It lets them get their defense in a better position. This attack one more time, going to try and break the B bomb site. Diha at Monster. Two players at the site. That's Goofy and Glaive.
Flashes up. Diha steps up, and he'll start spamming down, but this will not work this time. Goofy, he's found one, but they slip by the bridge, and oh, he turns back, a big headshot, but it's kept ENCE in it for now. It's still not a favorable position. And Falcons are into the B bomb side. It's got to be a retake if ENCE want to go for this, but what a shot from Hades. That's some bias down. Talk about a big game moment. This could be one of them. Looking to push it to 11 rounds as Hades is pulling distraction.
You see it?
He wants to allow Kylar to come on in, and perhaps he did catch a glimpse of Snappy. The eye of the Falcon turns short. It's Kylar gone, and Hades with a bone to pick. He'll make his way into the clutch. A missed shot, and now up in the open. Oh, he's hit a quick one, and he's going back below. But he can't compose himself for that flick down into the water. Once he hops up, Jason, it just looks so unlikely.
Yeah, and this time you could see similar defense, but not stopped in the blind span. Is able to overwhelm, and Boros is able to slide behind the defense from short.
Oh, Diaz having a tough time. Really having a tough time outside Monster at the moment.
Had a lot of bodies sent at him. I mean, Falcons in the last Cuban timeout, they've really switched things up. They've really, previously it was map control towards Party. It was map control towards bathrooms, encroach on the A bomb site. Now we're seeing B executes. So attacking different points of the map, and ENCE is struggling to get their defense settled at the right point.
Boros, oh my goodness, that was a chance and he let it slip. Goofy composes himself strong enough, but the reply is swift from Sampaius. The Spaniard rings one out.
Goofy has no business being alive. That was a huge mistake that he gets away with, a huge overstep. But once again, Long is exploited. And once again, Hades has so much pressure as the sole defender. He brings Glaive back for the moment.
Oh, Sampaius, unrelenting, goes for a second shot.
But it's always B. Sampaius is just a distraction. And this time, there's an open line of sight. No smoke in Monster.
This time, Diha has a better position to play rush. Back of the barrels, double from Diha, and the nade will send him out of the round. His work has been felt. Can his team now close on his promise? Magisk has to pick that bomb up, and he does exactly that. He predicts the movement. He knows what Goofy's likely up to. The barrels play still works out, and Sampaius is left alone. 35 seconds, no bomb in his hand. If he had some extra time to play with, you'd give him more of a shot, but he's sticking around. Sampaius is a confident player, knows what skill he possesses, but with that missed shot, that's it over. He'll retreat. ENCE are up to 11, and it started with that goofy mistake that worked out for him in the end.
Great round from Diha. As you mentioned, struggling with some of these monster hits time and time again. This time delivers a double, and ENCE is barely hanging on. And just crawling closer to the finish line. It's 11-9. A 2-round lead, and now they've been able to show that they can stop those B hits.
I mean, they're not doing it in the most beautiful of fashions, but it is effective, bludgeoning their way through.
And Falcon's gonna have a decision to make. They've attacked different points on the map at different times. They've had success at both, and they've struggled with both. Where exactly do they want to go? And all the money built up during their run. During that 5-round streak to start this half, it's all depleted in this bye. This could be the map. This could be us forced onto the third map of Nuke.
And ENCE can feel that rallying cry. The support of the Spodek for the first time in 8 years. And Kubin will remember it, but he knows he has to get the job done. And Falcons will come still with the AK-47s, the Galils, and the AWP.
Deep utility. ENCE again want to show that they'll challenge and have presence at Fountain. But Falcons starting in a 1-2-2, so Madden is going to stay passive for the moment. Cautiously stepping through his own smoke.
Oh, Hades boost to the top, his teammate's head. And another one where he's so close to getting the kill, but just not enough damage to topple Magisk. We'll see if that plays a factor for the remainder of this round. Kylo heading into the bathrooms.
But they've really struggled not to lose players at the A bomb site. They've really struggled not to get picked here, and that weakens the defense across the map. Kyler's going to be left alone at long bathrooms, and thankfully for him, no one from Falcons is heading here. Once again, another monster bust. But this time, the defense is so passive. No one's challenging the exit.
They're actually going back up to A because they don't feel comfortable, but they've got to get back down here quickly. They've got to get back to this B bomb site in time. Oh. Boros, that's a beefy nade, lands right at his feet. And the pack of Falcons swooping into this B bomb site. Glaive from heaven, it's nothing. And Goofy is still in the water. He has galvanized his team to this point, but it's just a single kill. Hades from heaven rings true through the smoke, and it's still a 3v3, but with that kill from Diha, that set up ENCE in pole position for this retake. Sampaius has received a lot of damage, and Hades once again wins that head-to-head duel. It's now just Snappy, and that in-game leader sits poised in the corner. He knows there's going to be a peak eventually, and here they come around the corner. First for Snappy, but he's under pressure, and ENCE have battled their way through to map point on Overpass.
12-9, an exceptional retake, but Hades again the impact. Way too many targets for him with the AWP to just pick off before it begins. Falcons, we're starting to see some cracks. That composure of a new team slipping. And a third timeout taken by Falcons, heading into what could be the final round. The final gasp, the final chance to fight back on Overpass.
They'll piece together what they can. But the damage that ENCE have inflicted upon them is certainly felt. And this has got to be the golden ticket for map 3.
And remember, the money is just demolished. Everything, the bank, the funding that Falcons had built up is gone. Sampaius is stuck to a deagle. A couple of Galils in the field of play, but not a lot of utility. One single smoke. Falcons scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Perhaps a different finish for the Falcons.
I don't mind this, though. They've seen throughout this half, they haven't really had a whole lot of people trying to stop them from taking long. They're up quick with nades, with weapons. Oh, Hades gets back quick.
Yeah, he does. He's running back into position. And he knows there's a player tucked in that corner. Second shot for Hades. Boros is brought down. And it's 2 steps closer to map 3. The heart of Hades, the heart of ENCE. And he's got another. Hades sits atop the throne of bones. And map 3 is surely here now. Sampaius on the other side. How poetic would it be for Hades to knock him on his back to tie up this series? He's got the angle. Sampaius encroaches closer, ever closer.